Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
Powerhouse Paranormal
Topics with the umpires
of the unexplained Sheena Metal.
That's right. It's Haunted Playground right here on LA Talk Radio. For more info on the show, hauntedplayground.com, latalkradio.com. Don't forget to email me and let me know what you think of the show and my fabulous guests and my wonderful callers. We're in a new time slot now, Tuesdays from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Pacific time. And if it's a spooky, scary, psychic, or spiritual, it belongs right here on the Haunted Playground, and you will find it right here on the Haunted Playground. If you're looking for me on social media, it couldn't be easier. I'm just at Sheena Metal everywhere. We have a new format here on Haunted Playground. We're helping and healing. We're doing some psychic mediumship. We're doing some spiritual counseling. And all you have to do is text me to get on the air for a free reading. It's 818-437-0886. Yes, I'll go down in history as the weirdo that gave my private cell phone out on the air. 818-437-0886. Text me your name and number, and me and my wonderful guest or guests, depending on the show, will give you a little helping hand. I like to call these special broadcasts Lightworkers Unite. I'm also doing them sometimes on my daily Sheena Metal Experience show here on LA Talk Radio. And last night, for the first time, on my weekly Raising the Vibration show. So I'm hoping soon to create an online presence for Lightworkers Unite. I'm working on that right now. And as soon as we get that nailed down and ready to go, then I will have more information for that. If you're in the Los Angeles area, I will be doing a psychic mediumship gallery with my good friend Patty Negri from Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel. She is here with me on the show all the time doing Lightworkers Unite, and as a guest, been a guest for many years on the show. And we do a web series called Living with the Dead with a 103-year-old possessed doll named Belle. And we're going to be out and about doing our Antiques Ghost Show on Friday at the Loft Ensemble Theater. If you want some information on discount tickets, just text that number I gave you, 818-437-0886, or send me an email, sheena@IamRaisingYourVibration.com. And that's my spiritual practice, also at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. Check both of those out. And here we go. So my guest today is amazing. She is the founder of Bellesprit magazine and the wonderful social media community Psychic Lighthouse. She's also a very gifted psychic medium in her own right and a reverend, and she's just amazing, and I love her, and here she is. Please welcome to the show the amazing Reverend Belle Salisbury. How are you, my friend?
I am wonderful. How about you?
Good. I love when you do these with me. They're so awesome.
Well, thank you. I always love doing them with you because you're so awesome.
Well, you know what? I like the mutual admiration society that we have going. You would not believe how this new format has taken off. I don't even think we've done 15 shows. Today might be the 15th. I've done maybe 4 or 5 here, maybe 5 or 6, maybe more than that on my daily show, and a new one last night on Raising the Vibration. And I have to tell you, the amount of views that we're getting on Facebook and the amount of calls. I start getting the texts and the requests the night before. People want to be on the show. There's always a waiting list. I mean, people really love the idea of us all coming together to help heal them. And I think that's so beautiful because that's really what it's all about, right? It's all about we work together to heal each other, and then through that we heal the planet.
That's the whole goal. That's the entire idea right there, is that we are helping people.
Right, because if we're not helping people, Belle, what's it all for?
For not.
It's
Well, you know what? If we're not doing it to help people, then you're doing it because of ego.
right.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. When did you first know that you were a healer and that you wanted to heal people?
I was able to get messages from departed beings on the other side. When I was about 5 years old, I recall being able to see this lovely woman who was I just knew her as a grandmother, and she never spoke to me. She just was such a pleasant energy. And years later, I learned that she was my mother's mother, whose name was Lily Bell.
Oh, and you were named after her.
I was named for her, yes.
Wow. That's beautiful. And do you think that there was something about you being named for her that somehow the universe sort of knew there was going to be a connection between the two of you?
There has to be. I believe in, synchronicities of life. And so, there had to be a plan there that she would be the first being that I would see as a young child, even though my mom didn't quite understand it and was rather frightened of it.
Sure.
Because she would tell me, stop doing that. That's evil.
Mm-hmm.
And I would look at her as a defiant child that I am, and I would say, no, it's not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But now, of course, years later, my father passed away, and my mother actually came to me one day, and she goes, does your dad talk to you? And I said, well, he sure does. And she goes, what does he say?
Oh, that's fantastic.
So I would tell her what was being said, and she goes, well, he talks to me too.
Oh,
and
I love
well,
that.
There you go. Now you see what I do.
And do you think that it was your grandmother, right? Your mother's mother.
Right.
Did she ever share with you
Yep.
that when she was embodied that she had gifts too?
I never knew her. She died when she was 34 years old. My mother was only, I think, 17 or 19, somewhere around there. So we never got to know her.
Wow. But did she
And
ever?
that's how come it was years later that I learned that it was my mother's mother, because Mom had gotten some pictures from a departed aunt, and she was showing all of us pictures, and she goes, you see this lady? And my mouth just dropped as she said, Grandma. And I looked at her and I went, Grandma. And my mom looked at me and she goes, how do you know that? And I said, because she talks to me. She comes to me.
Mm.
And it wasn't a verbal thing. She would mentally, I just knew what she was saying or why she was there. And my mother would just go white. She just was like, that's impossible. That's
Wow.
impossible.
Wow. So you never actually spoke with her. You just saw her.
I just saw her and knew her. I knew, like, she would share things, but it was like a telepathic exchange.
Mm.
But I never saw her mouth move. I never saw her talk. But then, of course, later I learned that it was how I received communication. Is because being clairaudient, I hear spirits speaking to me. I don't necessarily hear or see their mouths move. You see what I mean?
Yes. But that's what I said. Was when she communicated with you and you heard her
Mm-hmm.
speaking, did she ever mention that she too was psychic when she was alive?
No, she never did tell me that. She never told me that. My father's mother is the one who told me, I think I was 12-ish, and she's the one who told me that I had the knowing. Now, she was Cherokee, and she's the one who told me that I had the knowing, and that one day I should take the knowing and share it with others. And that's all I ever heard about that.
Interesting. Because, my mom was a psychic medium. And at one point when she was exploring her gifts and starting to come out of the closet, she was seeing a lot of psychics and mediums and getting advice. And she saw this very well-known psychic. She had to drive all the way to San Diego from L.A. And this woman must have been 105 in 1980. And the woman told her that my grandmother, who had died when my mom was 5 of a ruptured appendix, that she actually had gifts, and that the reason she was a little bit of an Irish party girl was that she was sort of trying to, drink and dance and screw the psychic gifts away as the Irish do. So I just said that about my own grandmother, didn't I? So it's interesting because a lot of times when I'm with other psychics and mediums, she will come through. One day she came through and she said, because the story is that she got the pain in her abdomen, didn't know what it was, and she was working in a factory, and it was during the Depression, and she was an Irish woman with no education, and she didn't know I think she was first generation. I believe her mother came here as a child from Ireland. So, she couldn't take the day off because there's, 20 other micks waiting to take your job. So the appendix ruptured and she died. And when she came through to my friend, she said, well, what was I supposed to do? I had 5 kids I had to feed. Like, how could I not have gone back to work? And when I said that to my mom, I mean, at this time, my mom was, almost 80. And my mom said, oh, my God, somebody had told her, either her grandparents, my great-grandparents, or her uncle, my granduncle, who lived with her as a kid with my grandmother and her sisters, my mother's sisters, had said something like that was what she said. Like, she felt terrible, but she had to go to work because they wouldn't give her the time off, and she had to feed the kids. What was she supposed to do? So interesting that she came back and said that, and that my mom had totally forgotten about that. until it was brought up. So it's interesting that I see her a lot. And also my adopted grandfather comes through, interestingly enough. He and my mother were very close. And she used to always say that she believed I could be him reincarnated. And once he came through when I had a medium friend here on the air and started laughing and said, please tell my daughter that I'm not her, but I'm very flattered. And I kind of laughed and went, well, I'm very flattered too, and a little disappointed that I'm not him because he was amazing. So it's interesting, the people that come through and the people that don't, I think.
It is, and I don't think that there's accidents, because I get a lot of people that will say, well, I want to hear from so-and-so, but so-and-so doesn't come through. And there's a reason for that. It's because maybe Uncle John needs to come in and say something to you pertaining to an incident that you've got going on.
Yeah.
Or maybe, Aunt Marilyn needs to come through.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I think that's always it. I think that folks sort of try to gauge the way that their readings are going to go, and you really can't. If you're going and surrendering to spirit and saying, I want to get what I'm going to get, you can't do that and then be like, but I only want to talk to this person and I only want to hear about this. And sometimes, clients get a little disappointed because they're like, but I really wanted to know about, and I'm like, look, I'll tell you about that, but the universe is screaming at me that we need to talk about this. So we need to talk about this, exactly. And then we'll talk about that. But priorities with the universe, right, Belle? They don't suffer any fools, that universe.
That's very true.
All right, so we're going to get Cynthia on the line now. Are you ready to do some helping and healing, my friend?
Absolutely.
I love that story. All right, here we go.
While we do that, I'm going to very quickly let my dog in.
Okay, because that dog wants to come in so bad. All right, we're going to get Cynthia on right now. That doggy wants to get on. Come in the room. Don't lock the doggy out. Cynthia, are you with us? Belle, are you with me?
Oh.
Cynthia, are you with us?
I am. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Belle's letting her dog in. Belle, are you back? Oh, no, Belle's going to get her dog. Her dog very definitely wanted to be in. Welcome to the show. It's good to hear your voice. Say hi to Belle. She's not here yet, but say hi to her.
I'm here.
Oh, hi, Belle.
Hi, Belle.
Has the dog been let in, Belle?
They have been. Oh my goodness! It's the Shih Tzu that's the little diva.
Oh yeah.
And he wants to go out and do his business, and he wants right back in.
Yeah, my
Don't
goodness.
Make him wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Don't make
I
the
have
Shih
one of
Tzu
those
wait.
now.
It's fantastic.
I just found a dog on a roadside on Christmas night, a little tiny guy, and he has the biggest personality. He lives here now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, he's definitely a diva.
I love that.
I'm so glad you took him in.
Yeah, Cynthia, thank you so much for being
know.
here, and thank you for taking in a baby. That's so important. Fur people need love too.
Of course. Yeah, he's a little guy. He was skinny, and it was cold outside, and he had no chip, and I made sure that there wasn't anybody looking for him, and now he lives here, and every time I put a collar on him, he turns it into a bar brawl. So
yeah.
That's where I just came in from.
He's not playing. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What can we do for you today, my friend?
There's been a lot of upheaval in my life. It's a lot, but I live in Colorado. I've been out here for a little bit, helping out my parents, doing some stuff, and the only definite I really had was this one woman that we were corresponding. We knew each other for 20 years, and she's just a flake. So I feel like that was my only concrete thing that I was holding on to, and now I just feel like I'm just floating, and I feel stuck. And I was just wondering if you see anything there.
Yeah, Belle, I'm going to grab this real quick and then throw it to you, my friend.
Sure.
I feel like you're stuck between two lives. You're holding on to stuff from the past that you haven't let go. And until you really let that stuff go, the universe is not opening up the energy of future opportunities to you. Do you know what I mean? So you're sort of stuck. There's like a closed door behind you that you're trying to pull on all the time, and the door in front of you is open, but you're not paying any attention to the white light that's coming through it because you're still dwelling on the things in the past that didn't work out.
Yeah, that sounds That sounds, because I that's what I've been telling people. And like, I feel like I've been banging my head against what I think is a door, and it's a wall.
Right. And that's because it's not supposed to open. The universe says you're done with all that stuff. And sometimes the universe says we're done before we're ready to be done. But let me tell you something about the universe. When the universe says you're done, you're done. Because when they say that's it, that door's not opening up. It's not opening up again. And it's because it's for your benefit. The things in the past that didn't work out, the relationships, the opportunities, the jobs, the friendships you let go, they're gone for a reason. And it's because when you started working on yourself spiritually, you grew past that. And so you're too, it's like once you've graduated from first grade, you're not allowed to go back to first grade when you're in fifth grade. And if you tried to go back to first grade, the teacher would kick you out and then somebody would have you arrested. There's a reason why once you're done, you're done. And you've graduated from a lot of stuff that those people are still in conflict with and they're still dealing with. And they're still trying to work their way out of spiritual first grade. And so
that makes
you're not
sense.
supposed to go backwards and de-evolve and de-enlighten, if that's a word, de-enlighten in order to go back and pick them up, because their conflicts and their stuff, they'll just pull you right back into their drama that for you is like 5 years ago. So you're supposed to just let it go with love, forgive them all, love them all. If you need to send each one of them a little email and say, whatever went on with us, I'm sorry. I don't want any bad blood between us. I wish you all the best. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful life. And really mean that. Like my friend likes to say, namaste away. And I've kind of stolen that. Like, I wish you love and light, but I wish it's in your corner of the world. And in my corner of the world, I'm moving on. And I'm now ready to accept people in my life that are at the same spiritual place or more advanced than me so that I can grow with them or learn from them. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
You just outgrew some folks.
Yeah.
And it hurts when you outgrow folks because we want to love the same people forever. But it just doesn't always work out that way. Belle?
Yeah.
I'm totally on board with you because, Spirit is saying everyone comes into our lives for a season, for a reason.
Yep.
And when you have learned that lesson from that individual, then they move on.
Yeah.
And you're left, pondering the baggage. You're pondering what was the lesson here. And this is where I think why you feel stuck is that you're actually just kind of taking a breather. You're not really stuck per se, baby doll. You're just taking a breather.
Yep.
And you're just going, okay, what was that all about? And what did I learn? And how could that help me? Because I do feel that your goals in life are to be progressive, to move forward, and this on a spiritual level.
Yeah.
And you are moving forward. And so a lot of what Sheena was talking about reminds me of Ho'oponopono.
Yes.
Have you heard of that, Sheena?
Yes, I love that.
The Ho'oponopono. Yeah.
I always
It's
get
an
them all
ancient
mixed up, though.
Hawaiian healing method.
Yes. Can you give it to us so Cynthia can hear it and everybody listening can hear it? Because I always mess up the order and I always mess up what it's called because I'm kind of a nerd.
Yeah, it's an ancient Hawaiian healing method. It used to be used only by the shaman, and in recent years, it has been released to, to the layman, to everybody, anybody, because we all can heal. And it goes on a 4-part process. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Yeah.
I love you. And thank you.
Yay.
Very simple phrases.
Beautiful.
And the first time that you work with this process, you're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
You're apologizing to self. I'm sorry for putting myself through this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I can forgive myself for having had this experience.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I chose this path, I love myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I am thankful for what this brought to me.
Mm-hmm.
So here's your 4, processes for self. Now, once you've done that for yourself, now you can either go to the person who you feel you need to apologize to, because let's face it, even though it's easy for us to say, well, I didn't do anything wrong, well, we had to have done something because we had the experience.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have worked with self and processed that, then process it with the individual involved, even if it means just envisioning them in your mind and seeing yourself talking to their higher self.
Mm-hmm. I'm all about
and then
contacting
go
them.
through the. Yeah.
I didn't used to be. I used to be a
Wow.
walk away girl, but I have to tell you, I've been going through this thing since the fall that I call the hatchet burying tour, where I'm kind of going back to everybody I've ever had bad blood with. And even if I know in my heart it had nothing to do with me, I still apologize. I say, look, whatever happened between us, I don't really know how it happened or what happened, but I'm sorry. And all I want is for us to sort of bury the hatchet and have everything be good. And almost everybody, so far everybody except one person, and that's his journey, has said, absolutely, let's just bury this thing. And it doesn't mean you have to be best friends, or if you're dating, you have to get back together. Whatever the story is, it just means that you take the energy that looks like, right now, looks like an EKG with up and down and up and down and up, and you just make it like just a flat line. It's just mellow. And then you can just let them go with love. And if they grow, and they do the work and they learn lessons, and at some point they're where you are again, and their path bumps into you again, then maybe you can take up into an active something again. But it just depends.
Right.
Yeah.
I think people think that when you're with somebody, it's supposed to be your whole life together is supposed to be like a parallel line, like two lanes on a freeway that run next to each other. And it really is sort of this ebb and flow in and out. Every relationship you have with another person, even people like family that are supposed to be in your life forever, there's an ebb and a flow and an ebb and a flow. And if you're lucky, you find people that you can mostly ride side by side with, but it doesn't always work out that way, and that's okay. So you leave open the possibility that someday they might get it together and come back, but you don't hang up your own path on that hope. You keep moving through your path, and if you see them down the road, fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense, because it's been something that's been plaguing me.
Yep.
And it's like, on top of everything else that I do feel like I'm resting here.
That's okay.
But it's just that thing of starting over, and it's just tiring
But
after
you know
a while.
But aren't new beginnings exciting?
Yeah.
That's how we have
They
to look
are.
at it. It's the energy you put into it.
Yes.
You can't go, oh, here we go again. I'm back to square one. Or we can say, oh, wonderful. I get to have a new, fresh start. Wonder what's going to be involved.
Yeah.
It's two different attitudes of gratitude.
Right. And wouldn't you really rather have, fresh new encounters with people that have not already had all the bad blood with you than to, try to go and sort of pound that square peg into that round hole over and over again and pray somebody's going to behave? It's just not, we're not just supposed to keep sort of belaboring the point. Did I say that right? Over and over again. You don't have to keep trying to force something to work when it's just not working. And sometimes it just doesn't work because you can have incredible soul ties with people. God knows there's some hanging out there that are still attached to me somewhere. But you don't always have to keep going backwards and trying to mend that fence and pull that person into your life again if they're just not where you are. Because all you do, sweetie, is you stop yourself and you get off your path. And that I don't want to see. I want to see you move forward. I want to see all the light encompass you, and I want to see you be where you really need to be. That's the most important thing to me. So we thank you so much for the call, sweetheart, and we love you, and we're sending you love, and you have my information. You stay in touch with me and let me know how you're doing, and it was a pleasure to take care of you. And keep growing, sweetie. Keep staying on your path and keep growing. That's the most important thing that I can tell you, and we appreciate you. So thank you so much for being here with us today and letting Belle and I spread a little light and help you a little bit.
Yeah,
And
don't stress. You're right on track.
And we're on the way, Belle. And there we go. And like that, we're off like a shot. How about that?
Boom.
All right, now we're going to get Jessica on the phone because why wait? Why not go right to Jessica?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. And I love the way it stays silent in it. It just naturally brings the caller up. Otherwise, when you're calling, like if I call you on the air and there's no one else on the phone, it does this little Skype sound. First, it sounds like you're in the shower, bloop, 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 and then it makes this little dancing sound like boom, 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 which is so odd and so not great radio. Jessica, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
Good. It's wonderful to have you here. Say hi to Belle.
Hi, Belle.
Hi, Jessica.
How may we help you
I
today?
actually came and seen you in Messina back in like 2006, 2007.
Wow.
Oh, wonderful. Holy cow, that was ages ago.
Yes.
That's
So
fantastic.
how can we help?
Yeah, how can we help you, hon?
Well, my mom passed away 7 months ago today.
So sorry,
Oh, I'm
sweetie.
so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few dreams about her and stuff. I didn't know if you could tell me anything.
Yeah, Belle, I'm going to let you start
Give
this
me any
one.
peace
I
of
started the
mind.
last one.
Well, the wonderful thing about our dreams is that when we go to sleep at night, Jessica, our mind doesn't just go do no nonsense things. Our mind is part of our universal connection. It's the body that needs to rest, but not the mind. And so as we're doing these universal connections, we're traveling to various dimensions. And so therefore, when we dream that we have visited a loved one, that's very real. And and the communication that you have with them is very real. Now, sometimes they'll come in symbolically, where what they say may not make sense at the moment, but as you think about it, you're like, oh my gosh, I get it now. So you indeed, first and foremost, have been having visitations with your mom. Okay. Now, what is your mom's first name?
Diana.
Diana. Okay. And I do that because I need to just be able to connect to her energy.
Sure.
And did she have brownish? I want to say darker hair, but does she have the brownish colored hair?
Her natural color was brown when she was younger, but it was more like a platinum blondish gray, white gray, real long. But her natural color was brown.
Was the brown? Yeah, and that's how I'm seeing her. Is in that brownish color and very youthful, very young feeling. And I also feel, wasn't there, she's got two males with her. One I know is her father who has crossed over, but isn't her spouse, he's either her spouse or her first love, because she's showing me that she's there with them. Do you understand that?
With her father and a spouse?
Her father and what feels like a love. Okay, so to me it could be either husband or it could be someone that she maybe was her first love. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
In addition to the dad that she's showing me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So has your father crossed over yet?
My father, no.
Okay.
No, my father's still alive.
Okay. This has to be someone that she knew in her youth that she loved. Do you understand? Like, to me, it feels like a first love.
Okay. I don't know who that would be.
That's okay. That's okay. She's just showing me being with these two people, these two males. And you know what I'm curious of, too? Could this possibly have been a brother or brother figure to her? Because I see a mustache.
No, her brother's still alive. Her father wasn't a very good man and wasn't in her life. And
he is, but he is. Because
my grandmother married 2 other times after, so maybe one of them, maybe not her bio dad, and then. Her and my father split up years ago, and her boyfriend, when she passed away, her boyfriend's still alive. So I don't know.
This fellow has a mustache. The man that I'm seeing her standing with has a mustache. Okay.
Okay.
And that's why I asked, could this possibly be a brother figure or because whoever this is, she's like showing me this great endearment, like she loves him so much, and it's not to be in what's the word? It's not to be a dig to your dad, whom she loved. Do you know what I mean? It just, we have many different degrees of love.
Yep. Okay.
And this guy has like a salt and pepper hair, actually kind of full head of hair, and he's got this mustache that's kind of a thicker mustache. It's not a pencil thing. It's a thicker mustache. And and there's a reason she's bringing him forward with her.
I don't know. Anybody, I know a lot of people. I have a lot of people in my life that has passed, but I can't see her she didn't know any of them really. You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They do, sweetheart. They do. So it's because it's almost like, I mean, does this sound like somebody that you would have known? Because she's insistent. She keeps pushing him forward, like, this guy.
I don't know. The only person I know that was older that passed away would have been my ex-husband's father. So.
Okay. Did he have the mustache?
Yeah, he had a mustache, he had long hair.
Well, that's like father figure sort of for you, right? That's a father-in-law?
Yeah,
it was my father-in-law.
And even though she did not know him, you know, imagine who we come in contact with when we're on the other side. People that we didn't get the chance to interact with in this lifetime.
Yeah.
But it feels like she's trying to bring him through for you. In other words, look who I ran into. Do you know what I mean?
There's only one other person, and it would be Richard. And I'm pretty sure she knew him. He would have been my cousin's father. And he was older.
Okay.
He had a lot of hair and mustache. So.
It's
whomever this man is, and I'm not good with names, but she keeps going, look who's here. You know, like she's trying to show him. And your mom, if you'll pardon the expression, Jessica, is a bit of what I would call a goofball, meaning that she was such a fun-loving or happy-go-lucky personality.
My mom was?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she could be. She struggled a lot in the end, but yeah, no, she's pretty lighthearted.
Yeah, she had kind of a hard life.
Very lighthearted, and not a jokester, not not like a Jim Carrey personality, but just that she just was fun-loving. There's just this energy with her, and I feel like she's trying to say, "Look at me now."
Well, that's how I try to picture her, is when she was more dancing to music and having a good time.
And now, did she also have the stomach issues?
She had. She had quite a few things, and the doctors all kept saying, "Oh, it's nothing. Oh, everything's fine. Oh, maybe it's COPD, or maybe it's this, or maybe it's that."
Yeah. She draws me to her stomach as having been, or the lower torso, as having been a problem area for her. Or to what I see it as is a way in which caused her to pass.
She was diagnosed with metastatic brain cancer, and then passed 72 days later. She had clots traveling from her legs up to her lungs and to her heart, and that's what did it.
Right.
Maybe what you saw was the clots. Maybe the clots. The clots were in there for longer than you knew. Than she knew, and the clot. She actually had the clots somewhere, and they traveled through her body.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that happens,
she's
right?
Not showing me the legs so much as it's the lower torso, like in the lower.
She had developed a small purplish bruise above her belly button, and then it grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the doctors just kept saying, "Oh, it's probably just the steroids. It's probably just the steroids." But it was actually a sign of her having blood clots.
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably where the blood
she was
clots
showing me.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that
poor lady.
The right, what led to her passing, or part of what led to her passing.
Yeah. So here's what she's telling me really quick, sweetie. About you. She worries that you're too hard on yourself, that you're a little shut down, that you've been kind of shut down lately, and that you're not opening up and letting enough of the light in. Is that right?
Oh, that's definitely changed me.
Yeah, she's concerned that she doesn't want anything that happened to her in her life or in her death to make you not live your best life, because she wants you to know that she's free now and she's happy as can be. She's dancing all the time. That's what she wants for you in life. And she wants for you in life, sweetheart, for you to achieve a level of happiness that she wasn't able to here. You know?
Yep.
And she worries that you're getting more closed as you get older and not becoming more relaxed and letting more things go. And she wants you to just take a big old spiritual laxative and purge it all out. Just let it all go. You know, spend 3 or 4 days on the God toilet and just let everything go. Because she's worried that you're going to start to develop health problems from kind of keeping everything all bunched up and like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So she just wants you to be happy, sweetie. She just wants you to let stuff go and be happy and not worry so much about things that happened before or things that went wrong in life or her life or what went wrong with your dad or any of that stuff. Just start living from today forward and find something like just even a half hour a day, honey. Find something every day that makes you happy. Does that make sense?
My kids, yeah.
Good. Spend time with them. Giggle with them. Have fun with them. And know that she's always with you, sweetheart. And when you're loving them, she's loving them. And when you're playing with them, she's playing with them. And every minute that you're happy, you're dancing alongside her. And that's what she wants. You know?
Right.
All right, sweetheart. You take care of you. We love you. Stay in touch. You've got my info. You've got Belle's info. And we want you to be happy and be your best you. And just think about that, a half hour a day. And everybody who's watching or listening, a half hour a day. All of you. It's your homework, all of you. A half hour a day, something that brings you joy. It's nothing. Half an hour flies by in a heartbeat. There's no reason why, every day you can't find a half hour to be happy. It's so important. Thank you, Jessica, for the call. We so appreciate you. Well, Belle, it's never not gut-wrenchingly emotional with us, is it?
No, not ever.
It's never like someone just calls and wants to know where to find their lost keys. It's always, it's interesting. I was just talking to a friend about this last night. I was talking to a friend of mine is a shaman and a healer, and we're working on co-creating an event together. We were having dinner. We were talking about how, she's a survivor of sexual trauma and sexual abuse, and how so many people that get drawn to her as a healer are people who have suffered that, even though many of them don't know when they find her. And, I'm a survivor of narcissistic abuse in a relationship and a narcissistic parent, not my mother. She wants me to say, my mom, Belle, wants me to clarify, it wasn't me. No, not my mother, the other one. Because, so interestingly enough, people get drawn to me and come to me for sessions and healings and want help. And it turns out often what the root of their problem is, they've been involved with a narcissistic person who sort of, sucked their life force out a little bit. So it's interesting when I do these Lightworkers Unite shows, and it's always me and one or two other people so far, how depending on my specific spiritual and emotional skill set and experience and whomever I'm with, in this case, Belle, you, the people that get the healings and the help that show are the people who need the energy of the specific people that are here. I just think that's so fascinating. Yeah. The universe is so beautiful.
Yeah. It's synchronistic for sure.
Right? It's always, our energy brings them in, the right people on the right day. And I love that the universe just makes everything work. It's one of my favorite things about the universe. Next to Belle, I think probably everything, which is my absolute number one favorite thing about the universe. That specifically is one of my perfect things about the universe. All right, so let's take another call, shall we? Let's get...
Absolutely.
I hope I'm doing this right. So I think it's Cheyenne. I want to make sure that I said it right. So we're going to do this right now, and here we go. If you want to get on with us, sometimes I get so busy taking people, I forget to tell you how to get here. If you want to get on the air with us, send me a text right now, 818-437-0886. Here's the phone. It's the proof, 437-0886. Send me that text, and let me know if you'd like to get on, and we will put you on the list. The only thing is, if you've been on the show with us before, then you kind of fall to the bottom of the list because we're trying to get folks on that have been waiting forever and haven't been on yet. So as we get Cheyenne on, keep that in mind. 818-437-0886. That is my cell, and that's how you get on the line with us.
Hello.
Hi, Cheyenne. Welcome to the show. Did I say your name right, sweetheart?
Yes, you did.
Wonderful. Great to have you here. How are you? Say hi to Belle.
Hi, Belle.
Hey. Hi, how are you, honey?
We're okay. I have my fiance here with me.
Oh, hi.
Oh, good.
Welcome. How may we help you?
His grandpa just recently passed away, not this recent Saturday, but the Saturday before that. And there was a lot of stuff I feel like, or they all feel like, was left unsaid, and I just feel like they need some closure.
Mm-hmm. Belle, do you want to start?
Yeah, the first thing that I want to add, Cheyenne, with his passing, there's a crossing over process that we go through. And usually what happens is within our passing, there's that first 3 days that I have dubbed the stupefied stage. And that's where we're going, what just happened? Oh, where am I? They're realizing that that they have this lightness, this freedom, although they are still somewhat attached to that physical body because that's all they know. And so this occurs, and ironically, we have that service usually for them 3 days later, but then after that period, there's a period of about 2 weeks to where they are visiting family. And this is the time frame where they'll say, the family will say, I swear he was standing at the foot of my bed, or I heard him call my name, or I saw him walk through the door. This is their way of kind of like trying to say goodbye. They're letting you know, hey, I'm okay. Look at me. I'm alive still. They're trying to let the family know he's fine. And then after that 2 days, after that 2 week period, then that is when what I call fully transition. They transition at the moment of death, don't get me wrong, but they fully transition, meaning that they undergo their review. I have never heard the terminology of a judgment day. What they experience is a review. And during this review, there is no counsel that stands before you. There's no big old book of life that they flip over the pages where you screwed up. It's just you. It's just you. And you're looking through your life experiences and you're assessing your activities. So you might look at that and go, hey, I did pretty good on that one. I'm going to check that lesson off because I think I got it. Or we might look at something and go, ooh, man, did I mess that one up? And so we're going to circle it because we want to have the chance to come back and maybe try it again. So this is that review process. But while we are in that process, we are oftentimes not focused on visiting family again just yet. So that period usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks. And that's ironically the time frame that we spend oftentimes going through the mourning process. Doesn't mean that it's exact, but that's the time frame that we are working through our feelings during a mourning process. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, I cannot guarantee that I'm going to be able to connect with grandfather. But what was his first name?
Gerald.
Gerald. Okay. And the feelings I get here is that first things and foremost, he states that he did in fact live a full and complete life. I also feel as though, and were there 4 children? Where does 4 come in? Because usually when they give me a number, that's the number of children or number in the family.
There's 4 grandchildren. Oh, actually there's 5. There is 4 sons, but one wasn't biologically his.
Okay, but he would have seen him as being his.
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like that he's showing the number 4. Okay, and the expression here that I get is that I feel like he's wanting to apologize, and I'm not feeling like he wasn't all that good of a father. quite the contrary. I feel like he was a good father, but his teachings, he states, were a little orthodox. So he could have been very hard on the son, maybe not so much on the daughter. You follow me there?
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
And you said this is your fiance's grandfather?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay, does that make sense? What's your fiance's name?
Levi?
Levi, hi, darling.
How's it going?
It's good. It's good. Don't be so shy. I can't bite you over the phone. Wait till I get to New York. Then I get you. No, does this make sense to your grandfather? That not that he was a hard guy, because he was actually pretty goofy around the grandkids. You know what I mean? But he makes me feel like that there was something he could have, should have given or done for the boys, or for the 4 that he's mentioning.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a little sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he wants to apologize. Like, I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
That, and it's kind of like the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. He could have done better, should have done better, would have done better, and he's not, for me, honey, he's not identifying what better would be, but it might just be a little early for him just yet to be able to give that identity to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hi, baby.
There's a small person that's
sorry, we
not
have our
happy.
daughter with us
That's
too.
okay.
That's fine.
We just don't. We want small people to be happy.
Absolutely.
I feel like, I know this is the show where I keep talking about let it go, Belle. I feel, Cheyenne, like your fiance has some stuff, some family stuff that really needs to be let go.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think this grandfather is doing. I think this grandfather is trying to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I let you down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I didn't do this. And it's that encouragement, as you're saying, let it go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm releasing and please do the same.
Right, exactly.
That's
I'm
why
releasing. Yes, exactly, Belle. I'm releasing and please do the same. Don't let the things that I messed up in this life mess you up in this life. That's what I'm hearing. Don't live the life that I lived. Fix it now.
Yeah.
Don't let because I feel like Grandpa had isms from his parents and from his grandparents, and the isms just kept carrying down, and then they carried down to your fiance's parents and dad. It's his father's father, right?
Yes, it's his father's father.
On dad's side, yep.
So Dad has Grandpa's isms, and Grandpa has his father's isms, and it just keeps. And this is where the cycle needs to be broken with your fiance. It needs to be. You need to just live your life in a different way. Learn from how they were and be different. And that's so important. I can't even tell you how important that is. And your grandpa is just screaming that. Don't wind up in the same trap that I did. Don't let somebody's actions turn you into somebody that you don't want to be. And also, now that you have a family, it's so important that you let all this family stuff go. Because, just take people in your family, take them for where they're at and who they are. And if that works with you, and it's possible for you to have a relationship with them, great. If it doesn't work for you, put a little bit of distance there. But you can't let all of that family drama, and there's some serious family drama, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so much family drama. You can't let that make drama in your own family with your fiance and your baby. That somebody's got to stop. Somebody's got to say, that's it. I'm just saying no to drama. Stopping the drama right here. Somebody has to be the one to say, this is the line where the drama does not cross this line. And sometimes,
pretty good at that.
I'm sorry?
My fiance is pretty good at that. I think
Good.
he'll do very good in that.
Good. Do that,
break
sweetheart.
the cycle.
Break that cycle. But I still worry that even though outwardly he's good at it, inwardly there's still a little bit of turmoil within him, that he's allowed it to sort of penetrate him and kill a little bit of his joy. And so outwardly he's lovely, and he doesn't treat people poorly because of the drama he grew up in, but inwardly he treats himself a little poorly. And he needs
it's like a sense of self-worth.
Yeah, I can sense that in him, but he won't admit it.
Yeah. Is he with us right now?
Well, guess what, Levi?
Yes.
Hi, Levi. Yeah, I thought I heard you, Levi, but then I didn't hear. I didn't know if you were still here. Levi, you need to be better to you. You need to stop sort of eating everyone's pain and taking on everybody's everything. Okay, my friend?
Yeah.
You're Oh, that's the yes of somebody who knows I'm right and is not happy about it. Sweetie, I know you're trying to protect and save everybody, and you're a noble guy, and you have a beautiful heart, and I love it. But you can't let your heart break all the time because you're trying to protect everybody from everybody. You have to protect you from everybody too, okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh.
Hey, who's got the birthday? Because I'm hearing him shout happy birthday, and he makes me feel like that his passing was, that he didn't get a chance to be here for that birthday, and he's needing to acknowledge that. So please, he said he wishes happy birthday.
Yeah.
Let them know.
My brother's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Is it really? Yeah, happy birthday to him. But please let him know that Grandpa did not forget.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. Take care of your baby. Levi, take care of your fiance and your baby. And Cheyenne, take care of Levi. And everybody take care of everybody. That's if I can leave you all with nothing today, it's everybody take care of everybody. And I'm sure that, of course, Belle agrees with me on that. So we're just, sometimes I just got to find my Skype. Where is my Skype? My Skype disappeared. If you are looking to get on the air with us, 818-437-0886. That's 818-437-0886. Text me your name and number, and we will get you on the air with us. And Belle, what great callers today so far, right?
Yes, amazing folks.
Really great. So now we're going to get Jackie on the line. Yay! See, I'm so much better at this than last time, right? I'm getting this whole doing 97 things at once down, Belle.
Say that again?
I said I'm really getting this whole idea of doing 97 things at once here. I'm getting it down so I'm not like, there's not so much time between callers where I'm trying to figure out how to do all of this. I'm becoming the master.
The multitask.
It's like I've grown 8 arms and I'm doing it all at once. It's like I'm all like Shiva. Welcome to the show, Jackie. How are you?
Oh, I'm a lost soul today.
Oh, no, don't be a lost soul. Belle and I are here to help.
I know. I love Belle. Hi, Belle.
We found you.
That's it. You're not lost anymore. See, you've been found.
Yes.
Oh, bless your heart.
Oh.
How are you, my friend? What can we do for you?
I'm not okay.
What's the matter, baby?
Oh, honey. Here's a virtual hug all around you.
Oh God, I really need one, Belle.
You got it. And I'm going to be in New York the 19th of May through the 24th of June. So just over a month. I'm going to be there.
Wow.
You better look me up.
I'll
give it to you in person.
Positive. I really have. I'm trying to be positive about the whole situation, and I'm trying to the law of attraction. I'm like a firm believer, but it's really hard right now. I've been going through a really lot, and I feel like I'm drowning, and I don't feel like I can get out. I've been working with Sheena. It's been a couple weeks, but we were getting places, and I just feel like I'm totally blocked right now. And I know Sheena, you said last night, and I couldn't even say it better myself. You said we're not all batting for the same team, and boy, did that hit.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Say that one more time. What did I say? You cut out on me a little bit.
You said we're not all batting for the same team. Some of us are in light, and some of us are batting for the darkness.
Oh, yeah. I know. That's not always popular with my New Age friends, and I love my crystal hugging New Age friends. But I do
have
not
been
believe
dealing
that
with-
everything is good. And unfortunately, you need to watch out for things that aren't. You wouldn't, I grew up in a surf town. You wouldn't go in the water bleeding and be like, no sharks will get me. Sharks just have my best interest at heart. And then your leg is gone. You have to be careful.
Statement made, like, blew me, right? I was like, that's totally the truth. I mean, I've been living this 9 years with my husband. And why do I love this guy? I don't know. I do. I don't know why. I wish that I could just stop, but I can't. So I'm living in his house. He's in prison. I told him that I'm divorcing him. I still love him, but I'm still going to divorce him because I know this is not good for me.
Yeah.
So,
and you're not the first person to have gone through that, Jackie. You're not the first person who has divorced a spouse. Even though you love them with all your heart, you just have to accept they're not good for me. Right now, where I am in this space, this is not good for me.
Yeah, right.
And so guess what? You just empowered yourself.
Yep. Congratulations.
Well, I'm living in a house, and I can't get out yet because of my surgery, and I'm a prisoner of my driveway, which is like a mountain. So they're just I haven't had 2 days. They want to make my life miserable as they can just to get rid of me, which I'm totally happy to leave, but I need time. I just please work with me here. Because I can't just get up and get out of here.
Sure.
I can't even get my stuff out of the ice and snow right now. So I'm really struggling mentally with this right now because I can't believe that people, I mean, I just grew up thinking that people were not mean. I don't know why. I just did.
Well,
and
here's a little fact of life, my doll.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
You're married to him. You're married to him. Guess what? New York laws state.
Yeah.
You own half that property,
Yes, you
even though
do.
he might have owned it before you married him.
It's his parents' name. They have it in their name, so they could avoid that.
Oh, well, now that's a different story. Gotcha.
I don't even want anything from him. He sold my wedding rings for crack that were my mother's. He's
dear,
sweetheart.
No, he's done horrible
Jackie,
to me, and I just need to get out.
Sweetheart,
I just need to get out of it.
Can you just ride along with me for a second?
Yes, I would love to.
So just a thought,
put the top
okay?
down while you're at it.
Here we go. Just to taking the top down, we're cruising. Just a thought, okay? Nothing I say is the word of God. I'm a light worker. I'm not a prophet. And neither is any light worker. And anyone who tells you they are, just back away slowly. What if you weren't in love with him as much as you were addicted to him? What if there is a thing in you that is addictive?
I agree with you.
Holes in you, buttons that he pushed, and now you're trying to get away from him the same way that somebody would try to diet or get off crack or get off heroin or quit smoking. It doesn't feel like love with him. It feels like addiction. Now, the bad news is it sucks to be addicted to anything. The good news is that once you get over the addiction, you won't have feelings of love for him for the rest of your life. You will have that gnawing addictive feeling, like every time I pass a Baskin Robbins, I wonder how much it would cost to buy all the ice cream and take it home and eat it in one day. But you won't really feel like this was the love of my life and I screwed it up. I feel like you felt like that at one point. But you're starting to figure out that it's really not the love of your life. It's really just that he has manipulated your insecurities to the point where he's weakened you. And this is what a narcissistic person does. And I am a survivor of this. And I lived through a relationship in this. And I gained 200 pounds in that relationship. And I know what it's like to be with a person like that. First, they are amazing and charming and the most beautiful thing in your world. And then slowly but surely, through emotional abuse, through physical abuse, through spiritual abuse, sometimes through sexual abuse, they start to break you down until you become weak, and then you believe you can't live without them. It's basically what heroin does to your body, but they do it to your soul. And then as you start to believe that, you actually start to lessen your life, and your circle of love and association becomes smaller because friends move away from the situation because it's so toxic, And you stop socializing like you did because first, that person doesn't like it. And secondly, you're so depressed all the time, you don't feel like doing it. And slowly but surely, your life becomes more and more insular, and they take over more control of your life. And it's kind of a vicious cycle that just snowballs and continues to happen over and over again. And you need to say no, sweetheart. You need you in your heart, because I can feel you and I can feel him. And I'll tell you something, the parents are completely bamboozled by everything he tells them. And they think that you're Satan incarnate because that's what he's told them. So nobody
blame you for this condition.
See, I've been sitting in this cabin for 2 years by myself.
Yep.
They see this. They know.
But they don't, because that's not how he paints it. He paints it like all of his legal troubles are because of you. And that, all he wanted to do was take care of you, and you lived off of him, and that's why he's in so much trouble. And they believe it.
I was set for life, and they know it. I was set for life. He's taken everything. He can officially say that he had taken every single thing that I ever cared about or loved.
Yep.
Or worked hard for. And it's literally the truth. He's never even worked a day since I married him. And they know.
He has parents.
Mine
they're
didn't
enablers.
either.
His parents. His parents are enablers.
Yep.
They're refusing to believe that he could possibly have done any of these bad things.
Yep.
He's our son.
Yep.
He's wonderful.
And it's threefold. One, they're just bamboozled. Two, they're both scared of him. And three, they don't want to, in their own egos, believe that they gave birth to that. So it's those three things. They gotta
blame somebody.
Yep.
It's not their fault.
Their ego and their fear and their ignorance, which are the three trifecta of awful, right, are all playing in together. Yep. And that's what it is. Mm-hmm. They fear him. They don't want to believe that's who he is, because they don't want to believe they made that and feel responsible for it. And they're just their ignorance of not wanting to believe they're weaker than he is, and he's completely manipulated them. And they're both a little morally challenged themselves. I mean, they did make him. So, that's a chicken and egg thing, right? Do the parents make the narcissist, or does the narcissist just come out the way they are? Who knows? But all I can tell you is this is what you need to do, sweetheart. And I work in recovery for this. And I have for years before I admitted that I was even a psychic, when I was still in the closet. Belle, you remember when I was in the closet, right?
Indeed.
Belle brought me out of the
closet. Awesome. You need to just find, Belle helped bring me out of the closet too. You need to just find a little bit of something to feel good about yourself with. A little something every day, and let it grow. Because what you're basically doing is, so think of it like this. When you have, let's say you have a hip surgery, and you can't walk at all.
Oh.
First couple days, nothing, right? And then slowly but surely through physical therapy, maybe in 2 weeks you can walk to the bathroom. Maybe in 3 weeks you can walk to the kitchen. This is what it's like to build up the muscle of your belief in you, of reconnecting your soul to your consciousness and getting away from somebody like this. So you can't give yourself a hard time when your whole life isn't fixed at once. Your whole life is not going to be fixed at once. It's going to be baby steps. And it's going to be every day a little tiny bit better.
I've been so patient.
I'm sorry, sweetie?
I've been so patient, and I'm just trying to be positive.
I know, love. Oh, sweetheart, I know. I've been there, baby. I know. It takes a long time. Every once in a while, it's been 5.5 years for me. And every once in a while, something will trigger me, and I will think, holy shit. I'm not over it yet. Yeah. I'm still angry, and I'm still jacked up.
I'm doing the physical thing with the neck instead of the hip right now.
Right.
And I'm doing the mental thing. So both of them together right now I'm totally disabled mentally and physically.
Right.
And I'm a prisoner literally of my driveway. I can't because of the neck surgery, and it's so icy that I don't even know how my nurses come here to come and help me. But so I'm just going, and you said, that's why I asked you today, Belle, about the Pisces, because you were saying we're in Pisces and it's an emotional time.
Yeah.
And so then of course, I'm sitting here pondering over everything that I hear, and I'm trying to learn from everybody and try to stay positive. And I know that if I put out light, I'm going to get light back. I do know that. I know that in my heart. And I am that person. I always have been that person, but I'm just going through such a hard time, and I just feel like I don't have guidance. My mom is gone. My dad is gone. You know, I have my kids, and I'm supposed to be their matriarch, and I'm such a mess that I can't help anybody, not even myself. So
and
I feel like
that's when you rely on your friends, Belle and Sheena, and everybody else that's around you that's there to help you. But here's one thing that Spirit said to tell you. You have to look at, maybe consider, why do I have neck issues? Not how did it happen? Why? It's because you were shouldering so much responsibility of other people. And they want you to be able to say, I no longer carry the responsibility of others. I accept responsibility for myself. And your children, if they're adults, they take care of themselves. You did your job. But take care of you. I no longer shoulder the responsibility for others. I accept only the responsibility of myself. Done, finish. And then watch how your healing will happen much faster. And you'll be able to see or feel this pressure that's on your shoulders be released. Simply by saying it is so. Simply by manifesting it is so.
I mean, he was literally.
And I've been really studying very hard and like reading and just trying to get to the point where I know that my purpose in life at some point is to help people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But right now I need to help me get to that point.
And so Spirit states, give yourself some quiet time. You don't need to be studying. You don't need to be pushing yourself quite so hard. Heal yourself first. That's what comes first. Heal you. And then when you're feeling better, then you're going to be able to pick back up on your studies and your researches and whatnot. A little goes a long way, baby doll.
Yep. And your neck will get so much better, because I had so many health problems, and guess what? They're gone. I have different health problems. I mean, you know, I'm almost 52 and I'm fat, but there's.
Well, I'm 50 and I've done the opposite of you. I've lost 30 pounds, so I'm down to like nothing. Which is,
I found some of that weight. Would you like it back?
Yeah, I think I have some too. I think Belle and I split the difference on that, I think. Actually, no, I've lost a bunch since I got out of that situation, and you will gain the weight back that you need, sweetheart, as soon as you cut those ties. You still have those ties, those soul ties from him are stuck in you like hooks in your solar plexus. I can feel those things.
Right. And that's the thing, like, do you feel like I'm going to be do you guys feel I'm moving soon? Because I can't heal in the place where I was broken. I've come to realize that. I was in our house,
and you know what I see happening, Jackie? I feel like I see where there are a handful of people, and I'm feeling them as being friends, but I feel there are people that are moving you, like they're coming in and they're, you know, everybody's lugging something out the door with them that is of your belongings. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I feel like that they're helping you to relocate. And this happens, I feel, very soon.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, Belle, I'm praying. I need this. I really do. Once I can get out of here, I know that I can heal. It's just being surrounded by things.
Yeah. I would love for you, sweetheart, if something you could do right now and you wouldn't require you moving, for you to go and start reconnecting with friendships that have been left by the wayside while you were in this relationship. Start building your tribe again.
Yeah, I need to do that because I really have nobody.
Because those folks just all want to know what happened, where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be back up there in May, so I expect you to look for me, okay? I expect to hear from you in May.
Sherry is having Sherry Hartle Right. And I'll be there.
Good. So will I.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I love you, Belle. Belle even laughed like my mom. Like when I see you, I want to cry happy because you laugh just like my mom, and I told you that already.
Aww.
But you make me think of her. She's always smiling too, just like you, and you have such a cute little laugh like she did, and I just love it.
Oh, thank you. So then my job is done. I have made you think of your mom and smile.
You're going to be just fine, sweetheart, and we're here for you. You have both of our info. You stay in touch with us and let us know how you're doing. But everything is going to be okay, and you're going to get over this. I know it feels like you're not, but you absolutely are. So just keep the faith, my friend. Belle, I wasn't kidding about the people that need helping and healing from us today, was I?
Yes, this is just beautiful. And Jackie is the most beautiful person. And, they don't ever deserve to go through that.
Nobody does.
But the beauty is that they find the healing in being broken.
Yes. Yeah, and you get strong. I'm stronger now than I ever was, but I had to go through that in order to get there. And it's that I still feel for everybody who's going through that because I know how hard it is. It's a different kind of cancer, you know? It's something eating at you just in a different way. And it's hard. I'm a little choked up just talking to her because I wish I could rescue and save. If I could do one thing in my life, if I had one unlimited superpower, everybody wants to know what my superpower would be, that I could instantly heal everybody who's been eaten by a narcissist. That's what I wish I could do. So they
know what we need to do? Remember the movie The World According to Garth?
Uh-huh.
We need to buy us a huge, big, old Victorian home.
Yes.
Like his mom did.
Yes.
And open it up to wayward souls so that we can help heal them and send them back into the world.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? That would be wonderful.
That would be so wonderful. Any millionaires that are watching and listening to this program today, if you have an old house that you would like to donate, please contact Sheena Metal or Belle Salisbury, and we'll put it to good use. Thank you.
Yes, please do that, and I would love that. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to get Harry on the phone. How about that? Come on, Harry. Harry, come on down. Here we go. Yeah, if you're trying to get on the line with us, 818-437-0886. That's my cell number. Text me your name and number, and we will get you on the air. And we will hopefully get you in for a reading with Belle and me during this show. If by some chance you don't get in today, I'll be doing this all over again, 5 to 7 Pacific time on my Sheena Metal Experience show, doing a special Lightworkers Unite with my good friend Seth Dietland. So keep the faith, kids. We're going to try to get you in no matter what. Harry, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I am well. Yes, clear my throat. I've been sitting here nervous as hell and gonna just breathe for a moment and let you talk.
Oh yeah, don't be nervous, honey. Just say hi to Belle. It's just like you're here with two girlfriends and we're having coffee.
Oh, you okay. People are hello, Belle. Hi, it's Harry in Medicine Hat.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. This is the sunniest spot in southeast Alberta where I live.
Wow.
This is the sunniest spot in North America.
Oh, wow.
And we are still struggling and going through a lot of effort and struggle with oil and gas. Yeah. I'm not going to go there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, my friend.
Okay, I'm going to listen.
Here in the United States, where we have the ego that everything has to do with us, I think we think of Alberta as just northern Montana.
Oh, well, I am so full of myself, there's hardly room for much else because I'm just all over the place. I have 2 full pages of notes. I started off with a very simple question.
Please.
And now, the fellow that has helped me to heal through a recent incident, July the 7th, actually. It was a very, very hot day, 40 plus Celsius, that is. And I sat down once and the muscles in my hips seized up really bad. And I just, I used some French words and I looked at Hayes and said, oh, it hurts. And I put my finger on it I was rubbing it, and he jumped up on my lap. He looked at me, and I said, "Can you help?" He meowed. He looked at me, and he started bunting my fingers, and around where my finger was digging into my hip. And he'd stop every once in a while. He'd look at me and meow, and he didn't stop. And finally, when he did, and he looked back at me, it was like, "Oh, hey, it hardly hurts at all." And that's how he became Doc Hayes.
Wow.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, we're talking now really, really well. Styles, a niece, her family moved to Australia over a year or so ago, and her oldest daughter, got to take Styles home with her. When they went over to visit for their Christmas holiday thing, a gift in November, Styles got to come and visit with me, and when Rianne got home, she and her mom begged me to adopt Styles. And I just kind of said, well, hey, this thing I have about home is where the heart is.
Sure.
And you know where Styles is. And yeah, he's happy here. We're happy. He's almost like he is. He's part of the family now.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. So what question do you have for us, my friend?
I'm so excited about visiting with you.
Oh, how loving having you, honey.
Well, yes, I think you probably know how excited I am right now.
Oh, I'm thrilled that you're here. How can we help you? What's the question you have for us?
I am looking for clarity, mostly. Too much confusion in my life. The end of the month, August 1989, I got into a big fight with my brother. He was my boss at the time. He had told me what to do. I followed through, and then he told me, "Now you do what I'm telling you to do. I told you what to do, and you're going to do it." I would not back down, and walked away. I didn't know where I was going to go, and I just I went out, went to a place that I had worked in previously. I was winning every round of that guessing game that everybody plays. Not Jeopardy. Oh dear. Well, anyway, there's a game where you answer the questions, and I kept getting the free beer because the teachers weren't fast enough. The lady that I worked with finally, that I used to, she go home now, and instead I just went looking for the rest of the night, and within an hour I was being harassed by a couple of kids that wanted to know, "Are you gay?" And I just kind of said, "Well, yeah, I'm happy." "No, yeah," I said, "I'm happy." "You know what I mean." I told my friends, "Okay, I don't feel very comfortable. I think I'm going to go home now. Work in the morning, la, la, la." That's the last thing that I remember, except for constantly waking up out of a dream and thinking, what a nightmare. And then the nightmare finally came through real clear that this is my life. These three kids, apparently, I wasn't there. In a fashion, I wasn't there. They kicked the shit out of me, threw what they thought was a lifeless body into a slough. And in the dream, I'm stuck in this black stink hole. And every time I put one foot down to get the other foot out, it was my life. That was me. That was my life. And these three kids, I told the lady that told me that you don't forgive folks like that. He's a psychopathic so-and-so, and you don't forgive that. And I've finally gotten to a place where now I can look at the whole situation. This is 30 years ago now. Those three angels, they came along to give me what it was that I couldn't figure out how to do for myself. But they didn't kill me. And I would wake up from this dream, I'd be looking at the wall, and I'd be thinking to myself, "Oh, fuck, I'm still here. I'm still here. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's the story, and I'm looking at it.
So thank goodness you are still here.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, and I want to get out of the town. Right now, I just want to get out of town. I want to take my little brothers, Styles, Ginger Splash, the new kid on the block here, Doc Hades and me. We want to find some place in the country where we can start and be ready to work with Mother Nature and see how well we can prosper abundantly with some friends, some neighbors, and just get dirty, get in the garden and get friggin' dirty.
Okay,
That's
honey.
what I want to do.
So here's what I'm feeling for you,
I
love.
just keep getting put off. Family keeps telling me, you know how much that's going to cost? I don't know what to do. That's my biggest question right now.
Okay, sweetheart. So here's
your heart.
Here's what's going on. So yes, follow your heart for sure. And I feel like when you almost died and you went to the place where you remember going, you went home.
A lot of time there.
You went home and came back.
I was a little kid.
Yeah,
wondering about everything and being told, you don't think about shit like that. Go over to confession and get it off your soul, or you're going to hell. You know it.
Yeah.
And my folks, my oldest brother, they convinced me. Well, I was ready to go along with it because I couldn't see me being good enough to be an actor. And so I wasn't even on the stage a year, and I gave up. And I got a job with security and all that stuff. I used to fight with my dad. Oh, I don't care. I'm not going to get into a situation in a stinking... I hated civilization and anything and everything to do with it for a long time.
Well, sweetie, I know you need to be in nature, but maybe if you can't immediately go out and live in the middle of nowhere, you need to find a way to bring the nature to you, to have nature in your life. Maybe start a little garden, start an herb garden, do something where you can put your fingers in the dirt, volunteer to help people that are planting trees. I just feel like from your near-death experience, you're stuck. You're stuck between that world and this. And you need to, if you're going to be here and live here, then you need to work, sweetheart, on grounding a little bit so that you can actually be here. Because right now I feel like you don't belong here and you don't belong there and you don't really know where you belong. And I just want you to be okay, sweetheart. And I know it's so hard to recover from trauma, to recover from the physical effects of that. I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on at one time, and I totally get it. But the message that Spirit is telling me is that you just need to go somewhere and put your, here, if you were by the ocean, I would say go put your feet in the sand. You need to put your hands in the dirt. And I know there's lots of dirt in Alberta. You need to find a way to be around nature every day, even if it's, volunteer, like I said, to plant trees, to help people plant flowers, whatever it is. Just get where there's nature and connect with God and make a connection and let the universe know, I want to be here right now. I want to live here. I want to be in my body and I want to be grounded, and then work on that every day. And we love you so much, sweetheart, and we're always with you and we're thinking about you, and you stay in touch and let us know how you are. Thank you so much for the call. And wow, Belle, that was so many people need help, right? I wish I could instantly help everyone.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And he's so worried about pleasing other people and letting them get in his head. And I just would like to see him fulfill his own heart's desire.
Me too. And so worried about fitting in. Here's the thing, Harry. Some of us just don't fit in. And the sooner we realize we just don't fit in, and then we realize that we always fit in with the universe. You always fit in with God. You always fit. You're here for a reason, and the universe made you the way that you were made for a reason. So you absolutely are supposed to fit in here. But if you don't, quote unquote, fit in with other people, it's just because you're special and you're an individual, and you're marching to the beat of your own drummer, and that's completely okay. And the universe wants that for you. And you're supposed to gather people that also feel like they don't fit in and create sort of this, ragtaggled tribe of people that don't fit in. And then everybody fits in. So I never felt like I fit in. I did a lot of dumb things in my life trying to make myself seem like I was a normal person. And in the end, I realized I didn't want to be a normal person. I just wanted to be who I was.
Yeah. And you have to be true to yourself, because that's where we get imbalanced.
Yes.
That's where we fall off track.
Yes.
Is that we're not dancing to our own drum.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dance to your own drum, my friend. All right, we're going to get Lane on the show right now. What an emotional show this has been. Well, it's this new
I thought you said something else.
What?
It sounded like you said we're going to go get laid on the show, and I'm like, what?
Oh. No, I was going to get Lane on the show.
L-A-I-D instead of
Do you want to get laid on the show? Are you coming on to me, Belle Salisbury? What's going on with you?
I mean,
are you flirting with me? That felt like you're flirting with me.
You got my attention.
Hello.
Hi, Lane. Welcome to the show.
Hi,
Belle was
honey.
just flirting with me. She's very inappropriate.
Hi.
How are you, my friend? Welcome. Say hi to Belle.
Hi, Belle.
Hi, honey. Oh, my goodness.
How may we help you, my friend? I think I
got
made the Reverend
vapors
blush.
on the air.
How may we help you, my friend?
I just after the birth of my son, it was really traumatic. I almost died, and since then things have just been completely off balance. Like, I don't feel like sad, like a postpartum type, but I feel completely I want to say discombobulated. Things that I would normally keep track with completely gone.
Not
like, I have
fully
no
in
clue. Yes.
Like, not fully in your body.
Yes.
Yeah, like I can be paying a bill and be like, what? Wait, that's not, I don't do that this month, or this check, and it's completely not me.
Yeah, not like you, yeah. Well, see, I learned this too. When I had my son, I had, he cracked my uterus, and so I hemorrhaged and, ended up with a hysterectomy at 22 years old.
Wow.
And I felt just like you. I felt like I didn't feel like I was me anymore. And I wondered, where did I go? What happened to me? And through years and years of study, I finally began to realize that, we have chakras. Do you know what I mean when I say chakras?
Yes.
They're like our energy vortexes that are aligned along the spine. And sometimes when traumatic things happen, a chakra might, shall we say, close up because it's trying to protect you. It's protecting your energy. And these things are all about energy. And so what it's telling me is that some of your chakras are not opened enough to allow that flow of energy to take place. And I highly recommend a chakra realignment. And I'm going to tell you something very simple and easy to do in order to my dog is over here talking, in order to fix your chakras. When you're in the shower in the morning, kind of imagine that you have a baby bottle brush. And so what you're going to do is you're going to imagine your first chakra. You imagine your first chakra, which is the root down by the genital area. Has nothing to do with that area, but that just happens to be where it is because it grounds us to the here and now. And I would take that baby bottle brush and I would imagine the appearance of my chakras. Now, a chakra, let me get this little puppy.
Is that your baby again? I thought it was Lane's. Is that yours?
That's the big baby.
Okay, I would say that's a hell of a Shih Tzu. That's not the Shih Tzu.
Okay. That's the golden doodle.
Okay. I was going to say, wow, that is like somebody got the Shih Tzu in some nuclear reactive waste and it grew into the biggest Shih Tzu on earth.
Yeah, because my brother just got home from work, and so he's alerting that somebody is coming in the house.
Nice.
So he's a good little watchdog. So, okay. So what we're going to do is we want to be able to cleanse these chakras. Because if you imagine, every person or every experience we ever have leaves behind a bit of debris on the blades, just like an oscillating fan. You know how you run your fans in the summertime? And at the end of the summer, you look at those blades and they're like filthy. They got all kinds of muck on them. And so the same thing happens with our chakra blades. And so to me, and this is the gospel according to Belle, But our chakra blades, to me, kind of look like the old-fashioned peace sign. You know, there's 3 blades, and it kind of makes a bit of a spiral, just a little bit of a twist, not a strong twist, but just a little curve into each blade. And then each of these blades has a housing that is adjustable. It can open real wide, or it can close up very tightly. And so what I would do is I would step in the shower, and I would start at the root chakra, and then I would take this imaginary baby bottle brush, and I always imagine that it's white because that's encumbering of all colors, and I would stop the blade from spinning, and I'm doing this in my mind, of course, and I would scrub the blade nice and clean till it shined a beautiful chrome color. And I would also include the inside of the housing and the outermost of the housing. And then when I'm done, I would give that little blade a flick with my finger, and I would say to myself, I want this blade to spin at the resolution that is right for me at this time. And I would, in my mind, see this blade speed up, and then it would slow down a little bit, and then it would speed up as it adjusted to what was right for me. And then I would ask the housing to close up just as tight as it possibly can. And I would see this housing tighten right up. And then I would see it open back up nice and wide. And then I would say, I want the housing to adjust to the opening that is just right for me at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see that housing making that adjustment as it opens and closes to the right opening for me that allows the right energy to come in that is best for me at this time. And you do that with each of the 7 major chakras. And then see how you feel, because it just sort of feels like that some of the chakras are imbalanced and that you're having trouble with them. I don't know, shall we call it an equilibrium, if you will, of being in the body. Does that make sense to you, honey bun?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. It does. It's just, I feel absolutely just totally different, like a totally different person.
Yeah, and it's because
kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it has to do with that feeling that you're not fully in your body.
Yeah, because
that's kind of how it feels like. And so sometimes we have this happen to us when we awaken from sleep, and we awake before the soul has the chance to fully re-enter into the physical body. And so there's like a part of you sort of wandering around going, hello, can you open this door? I need to get back in. It's cold out here. You know, that's kind of the feeling that's going on. And so you can, of course, sink yourself back into your body, clean the chakras, and then imagine yourself feeling your toes. I feel my toes. I'm going to wiggle these toes. Yep, I'm in this part of my body. And then go work your way up the body as you continue to open that energy to let the soul fully back into your body.
Yeah. Because, you know,
when you do that till you get to the top of your head.
When you give birth, it's a completely transformative experience, because you're taking this little package that's fresh from the universe and sliding it through your body and out into the world. So you're having a really strong universal connection, because the universe is helping it all to happen with this new little person that they're thrusting out into the world, and you're the vehicle. So it's normal to sort of feel like you're stuck in the ethers for a while afterwards. And yeah, it's just about stepping back into your body and getting a ground.
And with all of that, I used to feel really connected with my mom who passed, and now I don't feel as if she's around me. Like, I don't feel connected to her. Does that make sense? Or I don't know how to explain it without saying, like, I used to feel her with me all the time, and now I don't feel like she's here with me.
And it's nothing you've done. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
It's sometimes, you know, we all have duties that we have to adhere to, and not only in the physical world, but also in the spiritual world. And so mom's presence around you was always to make sure you're okay, or because she wanted to keep an eye on the baby, you know, or what have you. And now that you are a mother yourself, she's going to pull back her energy because you need your complete focus to be the mommy. And I can hear that little baby too. How precious.
Yeah. Now, sweetie, how much did the birth of your baby coincide with your mom not being around?
I don't know. It just felt, I don't know. I always felt her like around us, and my daughter would say that she's seen my mom or she talked to my mom. And then it was like, I figured during the process of my hemorrhaging, I don't know, some really weird things, like I was in my head, if that makes sense. Like I felt like I was in my own head, and she was nowhere to be around. Like I didn't feel the comfort of her. And then once I came home, I just felt like she was not here anymore.
Well,
like she just wasn't with me.
Well, honey, no mom since the baby was born.
Right, yeah.
What does that tell you?
Well, I always assumed that she was my daughter, just reincarnated, because they are so much alike that it's crazy.
Isn't that remarkable? Isn't that remarkable?
I think if she disappeared right around the time the baby was born, that's where she went.
Yeah.
I mean, I can feel her in there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because, we travel in full circles. Yep. We travel in full circles. And we tend to change
soul
roles,
pods.
lifetime after lifetime.
Uh-huh.
So it is not unusual for the mom to return and be the daughter.
Yep.
Oh, that makes, I don't even know why I didn't think about that.
Absolutely.
No, it's a boy. He's a boy.
No, it's the boy she is.
Boy?
She's the boy.
11 weeks.
Yep, she's the boy.
Oh, bless his heart.
She couldn't be your little girl because she was still around.
My mom's name is Marcia, and his name is Marcel. So I guess that kind of.
There you go. You knew.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
There's
Amazing.
that connection. Oh, that's such a beautiful story, and I love that. Thank you so much for the call, sweetheart. You take care of you, and I'm going to be talking to you soon. And you've got our information, and you stay in touch. And congratulations, you've just given birth to your mother. Well, you got sometimes we just pass on the most practical of news, and sometimes it's a little bit shocking here on the Haunted Playground. If you want to get on the air with us, 818-437-0886. Yes, that's my personal cell phone number. Send me a text with your name and your number, and I am more than happy to work to get you on the air with us. Absolutely my pleasure. And right now we're going to get somebody else. And my guest is, of course, the amazing, beautiful, and wonderful Belle Salisbury, who it's always such an honor and a pleasure to have you here, my friend. What a joy to have you here on the show with me. Always, always, always. So another beautiful call, another beautiful experience. And here I am trying to get my technical stuff done. Welcome back, Belle. Sorry, had to pull that down and work that out. We're having this is great, right? We're doing well today.
Yeah, I love this.
So much fun to be here with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook as Belle Salisbury. That's my personal page, but that's where I always announce things that are going on in my life with the business, mind you. Then you can find me on the web at bellesalisbury.com. And then, of course, we have the wonderful Facebook group called Psychic Lighthouse.
Beautiful.
And this is where we teach and we learn.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm honored to be there with you, my friend. What a joy to have you there.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have you.
We're now getting Elizabeth on the line. We're winding down here, aren't we, a little bit? Still maybe time to get people on the air, 818-437-0886. Elizabeth, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's good to hear your voice. Say hi to Belle.
Hi. Hello.
Hi there, Elizabeth.
How may we help you today, my friend?
Okay, well, I have a lot of decisions that I'm having to make lately, and I really just been struggling with having guidance and knowing what direction to go in with things. So there's that, and then you're just typical everyday kind of struggles that I'm having a positive attitude through.
So
so you're on the right track then. You know, you're definitely addressing the positive attitude aspect.
Yep.
Does one of these decisions have to do with higher learning, higher schooling?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, does one of these crossroads does it have to do with higher learning or higher education?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like at a place where I have to pay for more schooling, and I'm not sure if I want to do that because I really don't know what I want to do with it exactly. And I have limited time to make the decision in.
You know.
Yeah, because I felt like you were changing directions in your education. Like you spent 4 years studying this, but now I don't like it. I want to go over here and learn this. You know, that's kind of the feeling I'm getting.
Yeah. And I'm feeling like, sweetie, you know exactly what you want to do. You just feel like maybe you can't do that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's almost
like you're talking yourself out of it.
Yes.
Exactly.
You're trying to find a backup plan for your life without even trying the first plan. It's like you're living between who you really want to be and who you think you should be and everybody else wants you to be.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And what I don't want is for you to look back when you're 40 and say, oh my God, I never did ... that I should have, because that was what I really wanted.
Right.
So
and also I'm moving out of my apartment that I'm in now, and I'm trying to decide like which apartment complex like in my area is the best fit for me, and they're all about in the same price range, and so it's not really a financial issue, but for some reason I'm having such a hard time just being decisive and deciding on where to move.
Yeah, you're having.
Have you been inside?
I'm sorry, Belle.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said you're having a really hard time grounding. You're having a hard time figuring out where you belong, and that's manifesting in actually having a hard time figuring out where you belong as far as an apartment. So, you know, you need to live your organic life. You need to be you. You know who you want to be, and you know what you want, and you have to take a shot at being who you want to be. And if it all goes to hell, it doesn't work out, or you decide it's not what you want, then you can always stop and do something else. But until you really sort of pursue your dream and be who you really want to be, you're going to constantly have this sort of spinning and flailing feeling like you're just not quite sure where you belong. And I feel like even the apartment, you don't want to make a decision on the apartment because it seems too permanent, even though you can always move out of an apartment after however long your lease is up. But everything scares you that feels permanent. Yeah, everything. Right. Everything scares you that feels permanent because you're not doing what you really want to do with your life. Does that make sense?
Right.
You know? And it's scary.
Yes.
So when you're trying to sort of create a life that you think you should have and not a life that you really want to have, it's hard to feel like you belong anywhere, in a town, in a place, at a school, with people, because you're sort of trying to live this kind of imitation life. So you need to sit down and have like a super long talk with yourself and look yourself in the mirror and say, this is who I am and this is what I want. Now, it doesn't mean you can't still go to school, pursue higher education, but it doesn't change. You can say, look, I'm getting a degree in this, but I know this is who I am and this is what I want. But you have to kind of, like I always say, you have to kind of come out of the closet to yourself about who you are and what you want. Because otherwise that thing is going to keep gnawing at you while you're off trying to make yourself be interested in studying this or having this vocation or living in this place. And all the while inside of you, it's going to be like, but what about this? But what about this that we want to do? What about this thing that we know we are? What about this? What about this? And then you wind up sort of covering up your dreams and your hopes and your wishes with this life that you've decided you're supposed to have and created, like a Sims life that you create online. And then one day you wake up and you don't understand why you're so unhappy. And you think, oh, it's because I never tried to be the thing and the things that I really wanted to try and be.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And I can feel
Yeah,
you even.
that really registers with me.
I can feel you resisting me a little bit because you're still like, but wait, I'm supposed to ... And that's okay. You can push back on me a little bit. That's all right. But go home and have a nice long talk and think about it, sweetie.
Okay. I'm gonna, I really need to start, meditating more and just, having long talks with myself.
Yes, have some book some sessions with yourself. It's always important to go and book sessions with ourselves. I do it on a regular basis, and I'm sure Belle does too. You take care, sweetheart. You've got my information, and I'm always here when you need me, and we wish you all the best, and we love you. And Belle, that's pretty much our show. How about that? How did that happen?
Wow. That's interesting.
That's I mean, we could try to rush somebody else in, but I don't want to rush somebody else in with like a minute and 10 seconds and make them really quick tell us their thing. So if you're waiting online or you're waiting in our queue and you haven't gotten on the air yet, I'm going to send you a text as soon as the show is done and remind you that I'm back in 3 hours at 5 p.m. Pacific time, doing it on the Sheena Metal Experience all over again with my friend Seth Dietland. Now, Belle, I just said I was doing it with Seth. Are you going to pop in here and make a dirty joke? Because it's Dirty Joke Day for Belle. That I did actually say.
Oh, no, I'll be here.
I did say I was doing it at 5 with Seth. And if you saw Seth, you would wish I was doing it at 5 with him because he's lovely. So it's wonderful to have you here, my friend. And again, where can people find you online? And let's do this again soon.
Yeah, you can find me on my website at bellesalisbury.com or right here on Facebook at Belle Salisbury, or, of course, the Facebook group Psychic Lighthouse.
I love that story, and I love you, and thank you so much for being here and for being such a wonderful guest on the show. And thank you all for allowing us to help you, to heal you, to make you feel better, to give you some guidance. This new format of Lightworkers Unite, it just makes my soul sing. And I can't tell you how happy this is. And thank you to the beautiful and wonderful LA Talk Radio for allowing me to do this here on this show, on my Sheena Metal Experience show sometimes, and on my Raising the Vibration show sometimes. But always here on Haunted Playground every Tuesday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Pacific time. To get on the air with us, 818-437-0886, or you can email me, Sheena at IamRaisingYourVibration.com. You can find my spiritual hub there, and also my new spiritual site is being built at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. I'm also the founder of a movement of peace and love and kindness and unity, and so honored to have Belle on my advisory board. IamRaisingTheVibration.com, and soon switching over to our nonprofit hub, which is raisingthevibration.org. Go and find all those things and get a hold of us, and let's spread some peace, love, kindness, and unity throughout this world. Until we see you next week on Haunted Playground, it's always Lightworkers Unite here. I'm your host, Sheena Metal, and you know what happens here, my friends. I know you do. Every Tuesday from 12 noon to 2 p.m., if it's spooky, scary, psychic, or spiritual, it belongs here on the Haunted Playground. I'm Sheena Metal, and it's an honor to be here with you 2 hours a week, helping and healing, giving psychic and medium guidance and spirituality. We'll see you next time.
Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.